All right, so this module is a little bit special. You're not just getting me today, you're getting me and Esteban together. Now, the reason we wanted to do this one side by side is because we bring two very different but very complementary skill sets to the table. I'm the one who focuses more on the day-to-day, the operations, and the integration of everything. I make sure the systems actually run, the team uses them, and the business gets the result. Esteban, on the other hand, is the big visionary. He's the systems maker, the tech nerd who lives and breathes tools, automations, and how to put everything together. If there's a new integration or a smarter way to stack tools, he's the guy figuring it out. So think of it like this. Esteban designed the system, and I make sure it actually works in the real world. He builds the machine, and I run it at full speed. And that's why this lesson is powerful, because we're not just going to show you theory, we're going to show you both sides. The big picture of how the scaling stack works and the practical reality of how to actually use it day to day. So buckle up, because by the end of this module, you'll have the exact blueprint to go from 3 hires to 30 without chaos.
If you're still running your team from email and WhatsApp, you don't have a company. You have chaos. Scaling requires a stack. And here's the big idea. The right technology stack is what allows you to go from 3 hires to 30 hires without breaking your back as a founder.
Here's why scaling breaks most founders. At 1 or 2 hires, you can brute force it, you can micromanage, send messages at midnight, and just power through. But by 5 hires, you're drowning. You're duct taping growth with spreadsheets, endless calls, and manual supervision. And here's the truth. Scaling doesn't break businesses. Lack of systems does.
Here's the truth. Scaling doesn't break businesses. Lack of systems does. When you have 3 hires, you can brute force it. When you have 5 hires, you're drowning. When you hit 10 hires, you either have a stack or you have chaos. That's why I built what I call the Founder's Scaling Stack. It's made up of 6 pillars. Pillar 1 is project management. This is where every task lives, every deadline is tracked, and every owner is assigned. Without this, you're running the company out of WhatsApp. Pillar 2 is communication, a single hub where the team talks, sales has its channel, ops has its channel, marketing has its channel, async first, threads to reduce noise. Without this, you're buried in emails. Pillar 3 is your documentation and SOP library. If it's repeatable, it should be recorded once, stored, and never explained again. Without this, you're answering the same questions 50 times. Pillar 4 is the KPI dashboard. This is your cockpit. You should see your entire company's health in under 5 minutes a day. Without this, you're flying blind. Pillar 5 is automation. Connecting the tools so work flows automatically, resumes tagged, reports updated, alerts triggered. Without this, you're burning hours on busy work. And Pillar 6 is payroll and contracts. Compliance, payouts, contracts. Without this, you're wiring money at midnight and hoping you didn't miss someone. The stack is what makes the difference between a founder who's scaling and a founder who's stuck. Project management is the backbone of scale. If you get this wrong, everything else falls apart. The tool doesn't matter as much as the structure. ClickUp, Notion, Asana, they all work. What matters is that you set it up as a single source of truth. Here's how to think about it. Every project lives here. Every task has an owner. Every deadline is visible. If it doesn't live on the board, it doesn't exist. Now let's break it down by role. Sales has a pipeline board. Leads move from new lead to contacted to booked call to closed. Marketing has a content board. Campaigns move from idea to draft to live to reported. Operations has a delivery board. Clients move from onboarding to in progress to completed. Your job as founder isn't to chase tasks. It's to look at the board once a day and ask what's stuck, what's moving, and who owns it. The moment you move tasks out of WhatsApp and into a project board, your team gains clarity and you gain back hours.
The second pillar is communication. Your team needs a central hub, not scattered messages. That's where Slack or Discord comes in. You organize communication by channels. Sales has one channel, operations has one channel, marketing has one channel. Async is the default, and you use threads to reduce noise, no more 200 message group chats. This is how you reduce chaos and stay aligned without constant calls.
Documentation is the least sexy part of scaling, but it's the most powerful. Here's how you do it. Record a loom of you doing the task. Upload it to Notion, save the transcript, add it to your SOP library. Done. Now every time someone asks, hey, how do I update the CRM? You don't explain it again, you just drop the SOP link. SOPs should be organized by function. Sales SOPs in one folder, marketing SOPs in another, ops and admin SOPs in their own. And here's the real kicker. You need a rhythm for updating them. Once a month, assign someone to review and refresh the top 10 SOPs. Outdated SOPs are as bad as no SOPs. Think about it like this. Every SOP you create is a compounding asset. It saves you explaining a task once, twice, maybe 100 times. And when you're scaling to 10 or 20 people, that's the difference between chaos and clarity.
Dashboards are your cockpit. If you don't have one, you're flying blind. A good dashboard should take you 5 minutes to scan, and it should use a traffic light system so it's instantly clear. Green means on target. Yellow means at risk. Red means off track. Now let's break it down by role. Sales setters track calls, booked, and show up rates. Closers track deals closed and revenue generated. Marketing tracks leads generated and return on ad spend. Operations tracks onboarding time and client satisfaction. Executive assistants track tasks cleared and response time. Here's the big mistake founders make. They track lagging indicators like revenue, but dashboards are about leading indicators. Things like calls booked or onboarding time. These predict revenue before it happens. And here's the psychology. Nobody wants to be in red. Dashboards create accountability without you ever saying a word. When you get this right, you stop managing people with emotion and you start managing the business with data.
Automation is how you buy back time. It's not about replacing people. It's about removing friction so people can perform at their best. Let me give you an example. Applicant funnel. A candidate applies through a form. Zapier pushes it to Airtable. Airtable tags it automatically as qualified or rejected. No human had to touch it. SOP creation, you record a loom. The transcript saves automatically. Zapier drops it into Notion. You never had to copy-paste. End of day reporting. The team fills out a short Google form. Zapier updates the Notion dashboard. You never chase updates. Payroll. Deal pre-schedules payouts every 2 weeks. 0 clicks from you. Each one of these automations saves minutes a day, which compounds into hours a week, which compounds into weeks a year. And when you add them up, automation easily saves you 20 hours a week as a founder. That's the difference between building systems and babysitting tasks.
Now let's talk about something most founders ignore until it blows up in their face. I mean, payroll and contracts. At 1 or 2 hires, you can brute force this. You PayPal someone, you Venmo them, you wire money at midnight, you use Wise or Remitly, you cross your fingers and hope compliance doesn't come knocking. But once you get to 5 or 10 hires, this breaks. People get paid late. Payments bounce. You're manually chasing invoices. And if you're paying international hires, you're suddenly dealing with taxes, contracts, and compliance in countries you've never even been to. That's not scale, that's stress. Here's the truth. Systemize payroll the same way you systemize sales. And that's where tools like Deal, Remote.com, and Wise come in. These platforms handle contracts, compliance, and payouts all in one. Deal and Remote.com act as an employer of record. That means they employ your international talent legally while you get the benefit of a global team without the legal headaches. Thus, Wise is fantastic for fast, low-fee transfers when you don't need full EOR services, but you do need reliable payouts. Here's what systemized payroll looks like. Every team member has a contract in the platform. Every payout is scheduled automatically every 2 weeks. Compliance is handled in the background. As a founder, you never click a button. This protects your people and protects you. Because let's be real, nothing kills culture faster than late paychecks. And nothing breaks a founder's focus faster than wondering if they've missed payroll. When payroll is automated, you free up headspace to focus on growth, not admin. It's one of the biggest unlocks for scaling past 5 hires.
Let me give you some automations that save at least 20 hours a week. Number one, the applicant funnel. A job form feeds into Zapier, which updates Airtable and tags candidates as qualified or rejected automatically. Number two, SOP creation. You record a loom, it auto-saves the transcript and syncs to Notion. Done once, never repeated. Number three, end-of-day reporting. Your team fills out a short Google form and it updates your dashboard automatically. Number four, payroll. Deal or Wise pre-schedules payouts every 2 weeks. You never click a button. Automation buys back your time so you can focus on strategy, not admin.
Founders always ask me, won't systems kill our culture? My answer is the opposite. Systems protect culture because culture is not words on a wall. Culture is the rituals and rhythms you create. Here's what that looks like at scale. Every Friday, end of week wins get shared in Slack. Shout outs to teammates, small wins celebrated. Every birthday or work anniversary gets recognized. It's small, but it matters. Once a week, you record a short loom to the team. Share the vision, the wins, and the goals. This keeps everyone aligned to you, even if they're 10 time zones away. Monthly town halls bring the whole team together. EOS calls these your vision reset moments. Share numbers, share wins, share priorities. And here's the big shift. Use async over live. Live calls are expensive. Async is leverage. Slack threads, looms, dashboards, these carry culture just as much as calls do, but without killing productivity. Culture doesn't get lost when you scale. It gets operationalized.
Let me be blunt. Meetings are a tax. Async is leverage. Here's what I mean. When you run everything through live calls, you create a tax on productivity. Your team spends hours sitting in Zoom rooms talking about work instead of actually doing the work. Async flips that. Async means information gets shared without forcing everyone into the same room at the same time across time zones. It's communication that scales. Here's what it looks like in practice. Instead of a 1-hour team meeting, you have a 5-minute Loom recording that people can watch on their own time. Instead of constant status check calls, you use Slack updates or Notion dashboards where tasks and blockers are tracked automatically. Instead of debating strategy live for hours, you create a written thread where ideas are shared, discussed, and documented for the future. Async also creates a paper trail, no more. Wait, what did we agree on last week? It's written down, recorded, or stored in the system. That builds clarity and accountability. Now, does that mean you never do live calls? No, live calls are still critical for certain moments. Things like culture rituals, strategic debates, or emotional conversations. But they should be the exception, not the default. Here's the rule. Use async for updates, reporting, and decisions that don't require emotional energy. Use live calls for vision, culture, and high-stakes conversations. And let me tell you, the companies that master async scale faster. Remote-first leaders like GitLab, Doist, and Basecamp built massive global teams by making async the default. Meetings are attacks. Async is leverage. If you want to scale from 3 to 30 hires without burning everyone out, you have to operationalize async communication.
Let's walk through what this looks like in practice. Imagine you open your dashboard in the morning. Sales setters are in green. They booked 100% of their calls this week. Operations is in yellow. Client onboarding time slipped from 3 days to 4 days. Marketing is in red. Campaign ROI dropped below 70%. In 5 minutes, you know the health of your business. Now here's what you do as a founder. You celebrate sales for hitting the mark. You check in with operations to see what caused the delay. And you pull marketing into a quick async thread to course correct. That's it. You just ran your company in 5 minutes. Dashboards aren't reporting tools. They're decision tools. They tell you what to celebrate, what to investigate, and what to fix. Here's the kicker. You don't have to build this stack from scratch. Every hire from our marketplace comes with a free Notion dashboard, pre-built automations, and SOP templates. That means instead of spending weeks duct taping tools together, you scale with systems from day one. So here's the bottom line. Most founders plateau at 3 to 5 hires because they run out of bandwidth. Scaling requires replacing supervision with systems. You can build the stack yourself, and you should set up at least one automation this week to feel the difference. Or you can plug into our marketplace. Every candidate you hire comes with dashboards and SOP packs, so you scale immediately, not eventually. Scaling is hard enough. Don't reinvent the stack. Use ours and skip 6 months of pain.